Welcome to another episode of TeeVo and the Beard.
You can't see us, and us, there's a special guest in here, but we don't have to.
She's quiet.
Yeah.
Mrs. the Beard is over there being a diligent grad student.
You wouldn't know.
No. Doing her homework.
You wouldn't know unless we told you.
Yeah, I have a feeling, though, if we bring up, like, Brett Dalton or something like that, she might chime in, but you never know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
But how are you today?
I'm doing well. Yeah, it's starting to get hot in this area of the woods, but besides that, doing good. Enjoying Shield very much.
Very
still.
much. About the only thing.
About the only thing, yeah.
I think I was telling a former listener, not out of hate.
Former listener?
Well, this person told me that they can't listen as much because they are not caught up. So
okay.
Naturally.
Yeah, okay. I thought you meant like we did something to turn them away.
Well, I guess constantly being prepared every week is something bad.
Yeah.
But they were telling me that, I actually lost my thought. I lost my thought.
Yeah.
I think you threw me off my rhythm.
I didn't mean to there. This is live radio for you, everyone.
But they were telling me that they used to listen, and I was like, why don't you listen?
Yeah.
And that's why.
Okay.
But along the way, but maybe I was thinking of it because this person I had to travel to. And when I travel, I listen to one of two things.
Yeah.
It's either music
or Cardi B.
Just the one.
Just the one.
And by the way, since we're back on Cardi B, I listened to her new song.
Yeah.
I still don't get it.
No, neither do
I.
But, more power to the fans.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. I think that's more than some people will do.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But nonetheless, I was on a trip this weekend to do a variety of things, amongst which to see an old friend and former listener.
Right.
And I was listening to a lot of podcasts, mostly, during that, the back and forth.
Yeah.
And I was listening to Dax Shepard's podcast, Armchair Expert. So
okay.
You're not sponsoring us, but I would love to sponsor you.
Yes, go check it out.
I think it's good, and it's a long form. So I was just listening to one before I got here. And he says, I want to make the podcast I want to listen to, and I like 2-hour podcasts.
Oh, okay.
So whenever Dax Shepard uploads a new one every week, it's not a 30-minute, it's not an hour. You're in there.
Yeah. Well, at least you know that going in.
Yeah. Well, the first time I heard Dax on a podcast, it was on Anna Faris, and then he did Michael Rosenbaum's, and they were really long episodes. Yeah. And I was like, I could listen to Dax all day. And then he made a podcast. I'm like, thank you.
Now you get to listen to him all day. Yeah.
But
and it only takes 12 episodes to listen to them all day if they're 2 hours each.
I mean,
quick math right there.
The shortest one he has right now is only 56 minutes, and because Ellen DeGeneres has only so much time in her day, I assume.
Right.
So that's the only reason it's short. I think he even said that. He's like, it's going to be shorter because we only had so much time. But in the middle of one of his podcasts, he put out an ad.
Okay. Like a lot do.
They do. And I thought it was really well done. And it got me thinking, as you have nothing to do but drive.
Yeah.
You have only your thoughts to listen to.
Yeah.
If we could be sponsored by somebody, who would it be? And I posed this question to you yesterday because I was thinking about it too. I had some things in my mind, but my stipulation was obviously it can't be like a big national or international brand. So obviously Apple is not.
Yeah, Apple, McDonald's,
or Starbucks,
right?
Something like that. So what is like a kind of a low key thing that you would like to? It still is a fantasy, but not. It's somewhat reasonable. What's a product that you would love to have pay for us?
Well, see, this is one I had actually thought about it when you asked it.
Right.
I had a class last night, and I thought about it during the class. Probably should have been paying attention instead, and nothing came to me.
I thought the same because I thought of it.
I thought it was going to be easy. When you did the question, I was like, oh, that's going to be an easy one.
I thought the same.
Yeah.
I made it. I made up the question. I said, obviously, I have so many things.
Right.
And I kept thinking, it's like, no, that's not going to work. I mean, even though it's not a recognizable name brand like McDonald's, Haribo is still pretty.
You want to be sponsored by gummy bears. I mean, it makes sense.
But Haribo is still pretty well known. So I was like, I don't think that fits.
They have the creepiest TV commercials.
They have TV commercials.
The adults with talking with the kid voices, doing the voiceovers.
Oh, that's them?
That's them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, see they're bigger than I even imagined.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I kept thinking of stuff like that. I was like, okay, surely I dabble in certain products that are not.
Yeah, because that was the stipulation you gave, is it needed to be something that, we can kind of
maybe
believe in,
realistically think that they would like us.
Right. But also something that we would like ourselves. So, anybody can get, Amazon, because you can do the whole affiliates thing, Blue Apron, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Unless you're drawing. Again, we're doing the drawing while we're
Oh yeah. So last week
if you follow us on Instagram,
we unveiled a new thing. We're gonna illustrate what we talk about.
Yes.
And
to the best of our abilities.
To the best of our abilities, which is to the best of our ability.
Right. I almost feel like though that this might be a good Pictionary game here. Because just going by what
you don't know what I'm going to say yet.
No, just going by what you've drawn so far, I would think T-Fury.
You would think.
I
did think T-Fury.
Yeah.
Or Rip Apparel. But,
okay.
So my product, and if you're actually listening, people, we're not just fantasy. If you really like us.
Yeah, if you want to sponsor us.
But my product would be Redbubble.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the Redbubble?
I have, yeah.
I like it because similar to things like Rip Apparel, T-Fury, all basically the fun novelty T-shirt company websites, the artists submit it there and it stays there. Right. I guess for a lot more time than something like T-Fury.
Yeah, T-Fury is like 24 hours and then it's gone for a little bit and then it comes back at a higher price.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I like it because you can always find something. You can just search it. It's a vast variety of things, and not just T-shirts.
Yeah.
There's a 3/4 sleeve shirts. There are long sleeve shirts. There are tanks. They make pillows. They make journals.
A lot of it, you find the design you like, and then you pick what it goes on.
Yeah.
In fact, it's funny you mentioned Redbubble because when Hydra was first revealed on S.H.I.E.L.D., I got Mrs. Beard a T-shirt. I think it was for Christmas or her birthday, whichever time fits that time frame of the show.
Right.
And it was a Hydra shirt because
I remember you showed me that.
Yeah, I could not find a Hydra shirt anywhere else. I mean, of course, you're donning one now.
Yes.
Was that Redbubble or?
No, this is ThinkGeek.
Okay.
Another one I thought, but I was like, no, ThinkGeek's bought up by GameStop, so
so they're definitely too big now.
Like GameStop's gonna listen to us,
right? But yeah, I think
they hit the big league.
I think I'm not even sure if she still owns that shirt. She can probably she's nodding yes. So see, she did add in. It's now a sleep shirt for her because the only problem is as she's doing. I'm going to call this marriage sign language because she's putting up things that only I would understand. She wore it so much when I gave it to her that she's worn it thin. And since she is an elementary school art teacher, she has to worry about having clothes that would be too revealing, even on accident.
Right.
So yeah, but she still cherishes that shirt, not just because her loving husband gave it to her, but because she secretly loves Hydra. Mostly when Ward was in it. Are those bubbles on the?
These are bubbles.
On the shirt. Now, are they going to be red bubbles?
They are going to be red bubbles.
Yes, because one thing that TeeVo has provided us that's there.
Again,
I don't married to an art teacher. So.
I don't know my colors.
So one thing that TeeVo has supplied this week is color pencils, so we can have a more vibrant, bad drawing experience. For you.
Yes. But I like them. I don't. The thing, and because we're not sponsored by them, I can critique them.
Yes, yeah.
Because you notice every time when a company's paying for you to say nice things.
Yeah, Stamps.com is the best way to get stamps.
They only want you to say nice things. Yeah. But since we're not sponsored by Redbubble right now, the only thing I don't like is I have to really, really think about it before I buy it because, like I said, it's not an exclusive thing like T-Fury where this design will go away.
Right.
It's always there. So I should be cheap.
Right.
However, on the counterpoint to that, they are very friendly. They do send lots of codes every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
20% off, sometimes nice 25%. So you wait for those and find something you really like. It's worth it. Yeah, because we're not talking, $5, $10 T-shirts here. No, these are at least $20 T-shirts.
Right.
Which, I mean, if you want it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Well, like with the Hydra one, nobody else was selling Hydra at the time, so I was like, do I pay $20, $25 for this now? or not get it ever. So, and I decided to go for it.
Exactly. But like I said, they send out codes. You wait for them. You just put it on a wish list.
Yeah.
I mean, I have so many shirts.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I even have journals and kitchen magnets. Yeah. So I think this is a website I really like. And you get to see people's, interpretation of certain things you like.
Right. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm looking here at Mrs. Beard, I think Mrs. Beard's best friend's daughter sells things through Redbubble.
Really?
Is it Redbubble she sells it through, or?
I mean, there's a lot now. I mean,
there is.
It's kind of funny when you first see this whole dawn of like online artistry stores, on T-shirts, and then now all of a sudden there's more than just one. Because at first you think T-Fear, oh wow, you're so unique,
right? Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, what T-shirt store now? There's a lot,
right? It's like, which one do I go through? But I did just get the thumbs up that she does sell through Redbubble, so I will actually
thank you, producer.
Take this time, because I'm not sure her username on there, but I will in the show notes. In the show notes, I will put a link to her Redbubble store.
Oh,
so,
great!
In fact, we will be sponsoring
somebody on Redbubble.
Yeah. So now Redbubble, just turn it back around, and you can sponsor us, and we're all good.
Yeah.
So I do like your interpretation of a shirt.
Yes,
it is obviously.
It looks like more of disease source.
Than
Redbubble.
But you have the RB up there, so yeah, it is.
And I wrote it down.
Oh, you wrote it? Redbubble.com.
Yes, I signed it.
Yep.
It looks like a disease.
Yes, because we want people to know which drawing belongs to which artist here.
So now that I've gave out mine.
Yes. So.
Oh, actually, you know what? I did have something on hand. We'll do it after yours, but
okay.
I did have a little improv thing I wanted to do with this.
Okay.
So what is your?
Well, mine is something that this is one where after I thought of it, I was like, duh. It just makes perfect sense for somebody like me to have. I mean, this is a company that should be my living sponsor.
Am I gonna think duh when you say it?
You might think duh of the product, but maybe not the specific company.
Okay.
I was thinking about, because I thought kind of smaller, more local. Not anything against thinking Redbubble, of course, because they are.
You're drawing a cup.
I am drawing a cup.
Okay.
A specific kind of cup.
Coffee cup.
Coffee cup. Yeah.
Okay.
And the one that I was thinking of, and this one. Isn't a company that I'm necessarily familiar with.
Okay.
But I have had their product before, and I've recently found out that they actually have a cafe open, a couple of them, and it's Savannah Coffee Roasters.
Okay.
And so it's a nice. I don't know if you'd really consider it a mom and pop type place if hipsters.
But if they want to pay, for us, they'll be whatever we want it to be.
If they just sent me free bags of coffee, I don't even have to. That doesn't even have to be a paid sponsorship.
Is that smoke?
It's steam coming off the coffee. It's hot coffee.
Okay.
And of course, as I'm talking, I've totally forgot what their logo looks like, because I was gonna put it on the front of the.
I think I got the Redbubble logo.
Yeah, I mean it's. So
when they send you shirts, it's on the bag.
Right. But I was just thinking about something that, because like with Redbubble, we would want to sponsor something that we would want to use.
Yeah, and I think that's the best ads when I listen to ones on podcasts I like. You can obviously tell the ones that are like, okay, now we're paying for you, so say something nice.
Right.
And it's like they discover. I like the ones where it's like, hey, we use this regardless of whether you're paying us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's a cooler ad to hear.
And it's also ones that you can fit into the conversation of the podcast better than just going, okay, now we're going to take a break and talk about stamps.com.
Yeah.
To which I would say, the cheapest way to get in touch with somebody is just email them. Email them, text them. Do you really need stamps? Just ruin that sponsorship totally right there.
Well, they could have other products that would counteract that.
They could
be like, well, now as you mentioned that, here is this product.
Yeah, because basically, if you don't have a business, you don't need stamps.com. But you don't have to have a business to need coffee and to need stuff to put over your torso. So I think Redbubble and Savannah Coffee Roasters, they both need to get in contact with us and either send us free products or just, money.
Yeah.
Money is always good.
Now my thing I wanted to do was, so, we talked about what is a good ad. Mm-hmm. Whether it sounds conversational or pre-read, pre-recorded, mm-hmm. or on the fly.
Right.
So for your fake sponsorship,
okay,
let's make an ad.
Well, I would probably, since it is coffee, you want to do it right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I would say, welcome to another episode of TeeVo and the Beard. You would do your little part there, and
that you can't see us, but I'm TeeVo, and that is the beard. And
you would notice I was drinking something and smiling.
Yes.
And I would say, well, this is a nice cup of Savannah Coffee Roasters. I chose their mocha blend this morning. It's something that really helps perk me up when we're doing these podcasts here, because sometimes, having a 4-year-old going on 5, you don't get the sleep that you need. So you need that extra little pep in the morning, and
And I'd say, well, where can I find a cup like that?
And I would send you just down the road since we're closer, but I would send everybody else to SavannahCoffeeRoasters.com and have them click the products label there, and hopefully I could give them a discount code of put in TeeVo for 25% off.
I was gonna say for mine, we'll get to it later, but for mine, very similar to yours,
mm-hmm.
we depending on whether the shirt would relate to or journal or something or anything. Would relate to something in the beginning or the topic we're talking about. But in this case, you're, similar like you said, did your shirt come from Redbubble? And the ad would be like, actually, yes.
Yeah.
And if we can get a variety of things, I actually have this design on a journal.
Ooh.
That I like to jot my notes down
mm-hmm.
for research when we do our podcast.
Right.
So if you'd like to get some nice things, whether it be Shield or anime, or you just type in a random word. There's probably
a fandom.
There is. It might not even be a fandom.
That's true.
You just type in a word. There is a product for you on Redbubble. So go to redbubble.com/TeeVo and the Beard and type in the code. Please really don't use this. We're not actual.
Actually, try it. Go out and try it.
Type that long. Please don't actually use this.
Yeah, type the whole
for 20% off.
Yeah.
Though there probably today is a 20% off code, so actually use that. So for real, please go use it.
Probably if you just type in redbubble.com, it will have a coupon pop up.
That is the nice thing they do. They don't hide their sales.
Right, yeah.
It's not an exclusive thing.
But it would be cool if they typed in that whole thing and got
please please don't use this.
Yeah. We told you not to use it, but here's an extra 5% off now.
There you go. But that's our mini cold open icebreaker, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
It's just, the ads are very important in podcasts. And,
mm-hmm.
I just wanted to take a minute to think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think for our actual show now, we can slide right into Shield because there's not really a lot to spoil. Obviously, if somebody...
Well, I guess you said that yesterday.
Yeah.
And I said, well, there's a lot to talk about. We learned.
We did. I think this was a great setup episode. It was still... Don't get me wrong, I still really enjoyed the episode. You're looking for your guide there on drawing?
That's partly why I wore it today. Because I knew what I wanted to draw, and I just needed some... Oh Lord. Yeah. I'm going to... Red Skull's going to be so mad at me.
Oh, I know.
Brett Dalton, I'm sorry. I'm going to say that on the Instagram. Brett Dalton, I'm sorry.
But if Brett Dalton wants to come on the podcast and...
Drop himself.
Yeah, or accept a verbal apology from you directly on the podcast, we will allow it.
Would Mrs. Beard like if Brett Dalton came here to draw it himself?
I think she might supply the coloring pencils and things
What is
like
that? What was that sign?
That's her very excited look.
Okay. There. See, I don't know these cues.
I'm not familiar with that look there. She doesn't get that excited when she sees me. Of course, she sees me all the time.
That's true.
That's true, yeah. I get tired of seeing me.
But nonetheless, I'm sorry. There's a lot of squiggly stuff I don't know if I can do.
No, I definitely don't mean, no real big spoilers and no real huge reveals in a bad way.
Right.
A lot of shows, especially in the superhero comic book genre, do set up episodes.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen one, possibly even within S.H.I.E.L.D., that has been done this well. It's a setup episode that they could not have squished down to 5 minutes, like Star Trek should have done on one. It's not one where there was needless plot going on in the background. There was no D plot, E plot going on. It was pure A plot, maybe a little B plot the entire time. Kept me interested. Nothing really surprised me in this episode, like we've had surprises with, in the past ones.
Right.
But it was still just very well written. I think this is the second one where we haven't had a big action scene, which is strange.
You're right.
Not bad, but still.
You're right.
Yeah.
There wasn't. You're right.
Yeah.
Maybe they spent too much money in the previous few episodes. They're like, okay, let's.
Or they're saving their money for the later ones.
Both.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we gave you this much money for these episodes.
Yeah.
And then we'll give you money later. Mm-hmm. So this was probably the between times. Like, well, we need some. We need some stuff that doesn't involve huge action.
Yeah.
They spent a lot of money on Deathlock.
Yes. And
well worth it.
The only personal critique I have from this episode is not enough Deke. We didn't have enough Deke in this episode, but I can get past that. I can forgive it. Yeah. Just because, he's become a lovable character, and I can understand why they don't want to overuse him, because then maybe he won't be that lovable anymore.
Well, they used him a lot when we didn't know his origin.
True, yeah.
And, we got a funny feeling about him all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess, they're finding a good balance.
Yeah, I agree. We do get to see more of Ruby.
Yes.
We get to see more of her origin.
That was a revelation.
Yeah.
Because remember, we kept questioning,
is mother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
Just not in the way, or
it's both her title and what she actually is. Because I swear I've heard at least one other person refer to her as mother.
I don't recall, but I'm not going to refute that.
So we know that we either know or we can strongly speculate that Ruby is Mother's daughter.
Yes.
Hell's daughter. Hell Hydra.
Oh my god. Yeah. That I felt the exact same way when Daisy found out that Hale was Hydra.
Yeah.
And she says Hale is Hydra, and she just has a look. Hale Hydra.
Right. It was like
because I didn't put it together either. So I felt I was like, oh my god.
One of our constant listeners, Saran, brought it up to me because he saw the episode before I did. I actually didn't see it live this week, and he brought up Hell Hydra, and I was like, until you said it right then, I didn't put it in that order.
So a little bit like me.
Yeah, I got the alliteration part, like the H and the H, because before we had Hall and then Hydra, and then we had Hell and Hydra. I was like, okay, H, fine.
Yeah.
Oh. You're literally doing Hell Hydra.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. But one of the standout things in this episode was I really like Hydra Academy.
Yes.
They constantly talk about S.H.I.E.L.D. Academy and whatever. So you don't really know how do Hydra agents come up. Mm-hmm. Very similar fashion.
Because the only thing we've seen before is you get thrown in the woods with your dog and a gun.
Yes. Of which the
dog part is real.
That does. So I like that, we saw a little bit of past characters, younger versions of characters we know, like Agent Sitwell, Baron Strucker, and we got to see Reed Diamondback as Daniel Whitehall.
Yep.
I like him. I think he's a good lead-in actor.
Yeah.
But it did make me sad because I feel like while they didn't spend money on big fight scenes, they could have on some nice cameos.
Yeah.
But two of our very famous Hydra leaders in the show, fortunately, have passed away.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Bill Paxton and Powers Booth. Because I bet you they would have been there.
Oh, for sure.
They would have been there.
Especially Bill.
If they were around, they would have made an appearance in this episode. So it was a noticeable thing, but I was like, well, you can't help. You can't help that.
And I was a little surprised we didn't get some sort of flashback with Bill Paxton. Something that they pulled from a deleted scene, or something they got permission from another film to use out of context,
or just his name, or a name drop.
Right.
But they did name drop him earlier this season, so that's something.
Yeah. Now this season has been all about references to past seasons.
Yes.
So if you've never watched S.H.I.E.L.D. before, I can only imagine how lost people are.
Well, they keep saying that they're ready for possibly the end. So if you're gonna possibly end, go out with a bang.
Pull out all the stops. I also like the Hydra Academy because a lot of times, especially like in comics and stuff like that, the quote-unquote villains or protagonists don't get humanized. It's always, they're the bad guys, they're the evil ones. Unless you're Joker, then you kind of get the pass on that, and you get an opinion on things.
Yeah.
But like Dr. Freeze, is normally just Dr. Freeze. Oh, he's evil, he's a bad guy, so Batman must defeat him. Hydra is evil.
You're gonna get a fact check. That's Mr. Freeze.
I
just thought I just wanted to beat
as
them.
It came out of my mouth. Yeah.
I just wanted to beat them to the punch.
Yeah. But so the same was kind of with Hydra. It's like, well, Hydra is evil, so S.H.I.E.L.D. must defeat it. That is an awesome Hydra logo.
Thank you.
Yes. That's very Squidbilly.
Yes.
To quote Talbot. So it's nice to see that Hydra is not always evil. Or at least they believe they genuinely believe what they're doing is good.
Well, you're right. I like that it showed a different side of things, and many things, there are different degrees.
Right.
So, the whole point of the flashbacks, so we see how Hale came up.
Mm-hmm. And
you saw that she's very proud of being in Hydra.
Yeah.
But she's not like, say, a Bunstrucker.
No.
Where that's, he fits more of what we think the Hydra mold is.
The Red Skull type mold, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was interesting. Mm-hmm. And how we learned that Ruby came to be was so Whitehall wanted her to have Hydra's future in her.
Yeah.
Actually, what he said, he sees Hydra's future in you.
Literally.
So she's thinking, oh.
Yeah, promotion.
And he's like, well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. But I like how S.H.I.E.L.D. did that too, where it was like, CW is really big on their shows about talking about present moments, problems, political problems, social problems. S.H.I.E.L.D. is like, yeah, we're going to do that too. We're going to talk about sexism, but you're not going to realize it until later on.
Yes.
That's what we were talking about.
The only one that reminded me of a very CW moment was when Daisy was like, we're still fighting Nazis.
Yeah.
We're not going to.
It's like, yeah, no, it's we're
not going to
on the nose there.
We're not going to elaborate, but, for those who got it, you got it.
Anybody who's not been living under a rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the other big standout was, Hale's thing was that she's Hydra. Mm-hmm. We can see that.
Yeah.
That's very clear.
And still, she never stopped being Hydra.
Never.
Yeah.
But her agenda is a lot different than the past 4 years we've seen of Hydra people.
Yes.
So she is collecting allies, not bad guys.
No.
She first tried to get General Talbot, who Adrian Pasdar comes back. So yay!
Yeah, mustache and all.
Yeah. One-liners and all.
Yep.
So she tries to collect him, and she tries to collect Coulson.
Mm-hmm.
Why? You're like, okay, Hydra. So she's gonna torture them.
Yeah, and get all the information out of them.
And yes,
yeah,
that's true, but not in the way. Again, the past 4 years of Hydra people we've seen did it.
Right.
We saw in the last episode before this that she's working with another group of aliens. Well, It looked like aliens. This episode, aliens.
They're aliens, yeah.
So you're thinking, what is this for? Why is she taking Coulson? She was very adamant in the last episode that, hey, you need to see this.
Right.
And if you don't, I mean, I can force you, but I'm not going to, in a way. Yeah. But you need to see what we're doing.
But of course, we didn't totally believe that she wouldn't force him at the time.
I mean, especially what we've seen now.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, the objective was, Coulson, you need to come see this.
Yeah, you need to see what's coming.
And you're like, okay. So she hooks him up with her people.
Yeah.
And they show him the future. Mm-hmm. The future is that, if you help us, we'll help you with this invasion.
Yeah.
We'll protect you.
The unnamed invasion.
And he shows a little glimpse, and we see a giant spaceship.
Yeah. Would you call it a Thanos-sized spaceship?
I would. And I thought myself, okay, there was just a 1-2 second thing. Mm-hmm. We saw no indication of any other thing, just a giant spaceship.
Right.
If that's not the Infinity War.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking...
We're an unlucky planet.
I'm thinking, how many invasions are coming for us?
Yeah.
So what do you think of that?
No, I think that is probably the most clever way, if it is what we think it is. It's the most clever way.
But it has to be.
Yeah. That S.H.I.E.L.D. has ever connected itself to the MCU.
Yes.
Because it's like they're...
Besides from season 1.
But even with that, they're pre-connecting this time. Because with the other things, it's like, oh, here's what's going on. It happened after the fact. Yeah. The attack on New York, all of this, these are past tense things. This is, okay, we're going to meet you guys this time. Because our show's coming to an end, your movie's coming out, we're going to connect.
Now, as I said yesterday, it's no secret that at least Marvel TV seems like the cousin you're not very close to.
Right.
To the MCU movies.
Right.
Would you be okay if that's the impending doom they're talking about, but they still, obviously, you're not going to see them fight the Black Order.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah.
But, like, say the Confederacy, which is the group that wants to protect them for cost.
Yeah.
Shields them, so it's like, shield.
Yeah, nice.
Shields them from this, so it makes sense that they're not in the main action, but they're in their own thing.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally go with that.
Because that's obviously probably going to happen more.
That makes more sense than saying, no, this is a completely separate invasion than what you're looking at there.
Because they keep saying protect.
Right.
I'm thinking logistically, when you say protect, that's going to be the reason why we don't see the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in Infinity War.
Yeah, because unless you're doing like a really close-up on this ship, it's a big ship.
Yes. And
you're not going to have that big ship and another big ship coming at the same time.
That we know of. But it better be the same.
Yeah. So, and I think that also might have been clever, the writers and all that, before without us knowing it. And maybe that's why they disconnected themselves from the movies. Is so that when they do something like that, it's a bigger impact.
Yes.
It's like, oh, we haven't connected in so many seasons.
Yeah.
Boom. Now we're going to really connect here.
Well, because, when the show first came out, they had lofty ideas like, oh, no, we are, like, so connected.
We're behind the scenes of MCU here.
Yeah, like, this is so, like, they thought they were the cousins that goes to their, cousin's house all the time.
Right.
Hangs out every weekend.
Plays the PlayStation with them. Yeah.
But they're not.
No, they're like the second or third cousin.
Yes.
You see them at a family reunion, or in this case, an invasion, and that's it.
Yes. The last thing is, so we get to see more more fallout from Fitz's episode.
Yes. I thought that Fitz had put himself under arrest. I didn't realize he seems to actually be under arrest. Like, actually imprisoned, and everybody agrees on this. Did you have a similar thought, or were you actually understanding that he was under arrest? It was like a sailor's hat.
Thank you. I thought he arrested himself.
Yeah. So everybody seems to be in agreement, though, that no, you belong in this
cell
here.
Someone here did something bad and put themselves in jail. You're still going to be like, oh, yeah. I mean,
did he do something bad? It literally possibly saved the world.
It did, and he's still adamant. It's like, I mean, sorry I had to go that way, but I still don't regret it.
Yeah. And how do you like his Deke reveal?
Oh, it was wonderful.
Yes.
I love his face.
You got that little pocket tool, which, if his pocket tool is nice and shiny, and the one that Simmons handed to him is rusty, he didn't seem to question that part. He was like, oh yeah, it's mine. It's got the 17 in it.
Well, lots happened happened a while. I don't think he has time to meticulously look at it, his little toolkit.
Right. It definitely seems to have been cared for, though. Yeah, because his is still bright and shiny. The one that he has.
Maybe he thought it rusted up in space, which the one that she showed him did.
Yeah. Yeah, I love his reaction, though, of finding out that
he didn't throw up.
No, he didn't throw up.
He looked like he wanted to.
Which I have heard theories, and I don't like this theory, that was because Simmons is having morning sickness. But I don't know how old Deke's mom was when she had Deke, so I don't think that really lines up even with their messed up timeline.
I mean, we'll see.
We'll see. But I also think that that's a cheap way to go out, and I think the S.H.I.E.L.D. writers are better than that.
You'd rather just be like, oh God,
yeah,
shock.
Just out of shock, yeah. But I love Deke. I Fitz's reaction of, we had a daughter and she had a deke. It's like
I also like before that, we have a daughter, she marries some space nut and has a deke.
Yeah, so it's like he's not even a person. We got a space nut and a deke. So
I like how I guess it rings true how their daughter doesn't even have any kind of accent.
Right. Yeah. Well, maybe she has a space accent.
Maybe she does have a space accent.
In space, no one can hear your twang.
No.
So, speaking of time.
Yes. So, one of the things, the last bit of impressionable things in this episode, and I wanted to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
Because you were the time critique.
Right.
So, Yo-Yo's bit of story here. So, she gets her metal arms, which looks great.
Yes. I'd be afraid to even get a hug from her right now, though, much less anything else.
Wow.
Yeah.
You went there.
I went there. Yeah. When me and Mrs. Beard were watching it, we were like, yeah, no, you got to test those out first.
Oh, you went there. I didn't think that. Okay. Well.
Yeah. They're in a committed relationship. It's fine.
I'm not judging. I'm judging that you went there.
Yeah. I'm married.
I understand that. Anyway, so shock factor aside.
Yeah.
So her thing was that she feels invincible.
Right.
Because she saw the future.
Right.
She saw herself. So in her mind, it's like, well, obviously,
I make it. There's no other choice.
Well, and in some ways, like, well, make it is a loose term, and the way we found her,
90% of her makes it.
Yeah, but we know that she does not die.
Right.
And Simmons also learns that because there is a Deke.
Yeah.
Without a Deke's mom.
Yeah.
And there is no Deke. And without them, there is no Deke's mom. So she's starting to feel, we're invincible.
Gotta make it. If there's a Deke, there's got to be a Fitzsimmons.
Yes. What do you think about this whole paradox they were thinking?
So the first problem is, from the moment that Simmons learned that Deke was her grandson, that right there would start changing the timeline around. Because, again, like you mentioned, it changes the way she thinks about things. So it's going to change the way she acts. It will more than likely change other physical encounters to not, shock you again with, how babies are made. And that in and of itself can change who you give birth to. It's not like you are bound. Me and Mrs. Beard weren't going to have, little Beard no matter when we met.
Right.
Genetics don't quite work that way.
Right.
You are who you are because your parents did what they did when they did it.
When that happened.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But even like, let's say for some reason her finding that out doesn't change any of that.
Right.
Believing that she's invincible is going to change the way she acts, so she's going to put herself in more danger, which could get her killed, which means no Deke, but he still exists somehow.
Right.
If what Fitz did actually did save the world, then the lighthouse never ends up in space. Then Deke is never born in space. His mom would never marry a space nut
and have a
Deke, so he couldn't exist then. So and this is mostly me disagreeing with Fitz. I don't think that time is set. This is implying that there is a set destiny that no one can control. No one has any. Your actions essentially would not matter if Fitz is right.
Right.
No matter what you do, this is how things are going to end up, and I think that's actually kind of depressing.
Well, Fitz is not a ray of sunshine.
No, he's not.
So can't be that surprised that those words are coming out of him.
Yeah.
But so until they, obviously there's more episodes.
Yes.
It's not, that whole storyline is not ending there.
Oh yeah, no. There's still ways they can, if not fix this, make it work better.
I'm thinking in the term of like Doctor Who stuff. Okay. So like, I think they haven't encountered a fixed point yet.
Okay. Yeah, I like that you're using the terminology now.
I think Deke is still Deke, even though now it's revealed to his grandparents that that's who it is, and they're having this feeling. I don't think they hit a point where it's going to make or break. I think they're still in like a oh, well, sure, we'll let this slide.
Yeah.
Like, time will let this slide. But I think towards the end, possibly the finale, there's going to be a point where it's like, no, this is going to make or break certain outcomes.
Yeah. And I can definitely understand them using that technique as show creators, because if you have a fluctuating timeline, that means sometimes you have Deke, sometimes you don't have Deke. Sometimes he's kind of, half there, depending on whatever their actions are.
Or you have the Flash.
Yes. We won't go into that.
I just said you have that. However our listeners want to interpret that.
Yeah. My views on how they do time travel have definitely been noted.
We're not going to go further.
But I think that they need to explain themselves a little. And this is me really pecking around to find a negative, because just on the surface, I've seen nothing wrong with this season. It's had the best action, definitely the best special effects, but that really can't...
Best cameos.
Special effects you really can't blame the other seasons for, because as time progresses, those just get better.
Yes.
The best dialogue and storyline, the only time that's messed up is when they showed us that it was Fitz and Simmons. But I'm past that.
But it wasn't even like the worst thing
it was
they
not.
could
do.
No. But
no, the worst thing they could have done was have Deke interrupt the wedding and say, "Yo, guys, you're my grandparents."
Like, this means so much to me.
Yeah.
I'm so glad this happened.
That I would have been like, okay, I'm gonna finish watching the season, but I'm done.
Yeah. That's probably how ABC feels.
Right.
Did you see like the preview for next episode?
I did.
Didn't really give a lot.
It did not. They're getting very good at those previews.
Very, very good.
Yeah.
But we know that the last thing that was sort of revealed is that everything is coming to place for the Shattered Earth that they saw.
Yeah.
So the code name that Whitehall wanted for his project for Hale, which eventually was Ruby, was to put her in the super soldier experiment. Code name Destroyer of Worlds.
Right.
And Hale's thing of why she definitely needs Coulson is like, she does not think Ruby is up for that.
Nope. But Ruby wants to be Destroyer of Worlds.
But who Hale thinks is up for it?
It's Quake.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Ruby went from fangirl to evil stalker now, I think.
Yes.
I still can't see her as a bad guy, though.
There were some points in this episode where when she was doing combat, I was like, okay, yeah. Yeah, I think more when she was in Hydra Academy.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you know what? I can believe her.
But and
then there were certain scenes like, oh, Dove.
She would be like the boss that you get on the first level, though. She's like okay, you look kind of evil, but you're going to be easy to beat.
Yeah. And so far, and maybe it's because of certain lack of money for certain action scenes, but I'm waiting for her to do something like Hit Girl.
Yeah.
Because in the first, Kick-Ass, I mean, Chloe Moretz is a tiny 10-year-old.
Yeah.
But the scene's backed up being afraid of her.
Very true, yeah.
It hasn't happened yet for Dove Cameron, but I'm hoping we get something like that.
And maybe they're giving us this false sense of security on purpose, so that when that does happen, it's more impressive.
I mean, I hope that.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, this is not a critique. Dove Cameron, if you're listening to us and want to sponsor us.
Yeah. We're sponsored by Dove Cameron.
Yeah. This is not a critique on your acting.
Oh, no.
It's just, maybe... I don't know what it's a critique of.
Well, I mean,
but it's not you as a performer.
It's like when you see, any actor or actress play a certain type of character. I was trying to think, whenever you try to think of a good one. Let's take Clark Gregg, for example.
Yeah.
He is dry comedy.
Yeah.
He just oozes dry comedy. He does it so very well. If I were to see him in either a slapstick type comedy or a very serious drama, I wouldn't believe it. I would be like, all right, where's the joke? Or in the slapstick, I'd be like, hey, let's calm it down some. You're Clark Gregg. Right. And it's because of how well they act that it's like, okay, this is what you do best. This is what I want to see. And
sometimes it could be people that you didn't like, and then they do something you do.
Yeah.
I think the best example related to Marvel right now is Chris Evans.
Oh, yeah.
Nope, not many people like Chris Evans before Captain America.
That's true, yeah.
I did not.
No.
I actually...
Not even in Fantastic Four?
No.
In
retrospect.
You gave it a think for a minute. That's good.
Well, let's just say Captain America, the first Avenger, the first movie, is the only one I did not see. It's the only MC movie to date that I did not see opening weekend.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
I waited.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I mean, I'm going to see it, but
right.
I wasn't as excited about it. Then I saw it. I was like,
do I want to watch Chris Evans for 2.5 hours?
The first weekend.
Yeah.
I'll wait. So I think I saw it the third weekend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that's...
And I immediately regretted it. I was like, wait.
You might as well have waited for Blu-ray at that point.
I know. I was like, but I got out. I was like, he was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Not the best MCU movie, though.
Not the best, but I mean,
but really good for him.
If it wasn't, it's not because of him.
Right.
Certain things, but
it was definitely too long.
You can definitely say he did well.
Right.
And as he's proven since then, he's good.
Yeah.
So.
And now we get to see bearded Captain America.
We do, and yes. I'm sure you're still can't wait to see that.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, we were looking forward to Infinity War.
Not just for the beard.
Not just for the beard.
But you know, I mean,
it doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt.
Even his Twitter emoji, if you just do like hashtag Captain America, he's bearded.
Really?
There, yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
A little bearded emoji.
I didn't know that. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Learned so much today.
I know, right?
Any other thoughts? Like I was getting into the next preview shows, Ruby wanting to embrace the Destroyer of Worlds.
Yeah.
And I think that's all they're going to give us.
I think so, too. Yeah, because even though nothing really surprised me in this episode, it still made it pretty impossible to predict anything in this season.
That is something, again, that they do so well, even though they're putting a lot of cards on the table. Yeah. More than they've given us.
Yeah. They've got like a deck and a half out there now.
But we still don't really know the exact plan. I think... the whole mystery of General Hale was getting to that point where it's like, okay, we need to know.
Right.
And they gave it to us.
Yeah. Because that wasn't a reveal that would have had as big of an impact if they would have keep waiting. Yeah. Because I'm like, oh, it's her mom. Cool.
She's Hydra.
But do it soon. It's like, oh, Hell Hydra. Okay.
Yeah. So we got that out of the way. So now, when we see General Hale, it's not that air of like, oh, what's she up to? Right. Now it's like, okay, we know.
Yeah, still, does she have any other plans, though, underneath that?
Well...
Who knows?
To Coulson, yes. Yeah. Because as she said, oh, yeah, I need your help, because once they're done with us, we're totally going to take them out.
Yeah. Speaking of sponsorship, though, one last thing.
Yes.
Cap'n Crunch and Oops All Berries. Great product placement in this show.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that whole gag with... I think it's a gag or a recurring thing with Ruby and a new guest.
Yeah. No, I mean...
As we've seen now 3 times.
If it would have worked on Coulson, I wouldn't have liked it. I would have been tired of it. But the fact that it did not work on Coulson, I still like it.
Yeah. Yeah. But we've seen it 3 times. So, when Von Strucker woke up, went to the pantry, there comes Ruby with her headphones.
Yeah, pretending to ignore them like any pretty girl does.
Yep. And you're like, oh, okay, well, that's that. And then, we see Talbot wake up, go to the pantry, and she does the exact same thing. You would believe they just...
And he gets dad voice.
Yeah.
He gets dad voice very quickly.
You'd probably believe for a second that they just superimposed the last footage.
Right.
But she does it at the end. And then Coulson wakes up, goes to the pantry, she does the exact same thing. So I'm wondering how many more times is Ruby going to waltz into the pantry, get a bowl of cereal.
I think she has to do it at least one more time where it works. And I'm curious on who it would work on.
Ooh.
Yeah. Is it going to be an established character or are they going to bring somebody else in?
Ooh.
Yeah. But I like how Oops All Berries was more important than Dove Cameron standing beside him.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, when you need me, I'll be back in my room.
Yep.
So, anything else?
No. So it's another solid week.
Until next week.